shout out Legend TV because we are live. No, I like that. That's from the Midnight Ride. I don't think that's the name of the channel, but that's the name of the show that you're putting on, the Midnight Ride. As you see TV or something like that. There's a channel. But shout out to those guys, man. Their channel is pretty awesome. I love their channel and some of the stuff they bring to the table. It's pretty cool. But today, I want to have a conversation about weed. So I'll let some people kind of get in here first. But yeah, we're going to be talking about weed and just a little quick conversation. So you can pretty much rest assured and know hope y'all having a great day today. Before we get into that, this is the channel of the Most High on His children. I want to put that out there in the airwaves continuously. Even though I may slip, even though I may fall, count every man a liar. But not everything is a lie. Come on, man. Dang, this is stupid. This is stupid. Somebody gonna let me go, cuss. But yeah, we gonna bust into it, whether anybody here or not, man. Somebody might get this. I might post this up later at a different time. But what I wanted to post up was, that yeah, man, weed. I smoked weed for years, man. I mean, I smoked so much weed. I mean, we talking about, let me see, we talking about 15, 16, 17 years of smoking weed. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, weed for the creativity and weed for this, whatever little benefit that marijuana gives is so much less than what it takes. For one, big thing about marijuana and weed is that, bro, it costs tons of money. It's like, it ain't cheap. It's not cheap at all. Especially as you continue to smoke and you need to get that, and you want that fire pack. Weed is not cheap, and it costs. And as you get to smoking it, you know, it's a want to have it all the time. All the time. Anything that you just need all the time, it's definitely not good for you. This is how you can judge a thing. If you need it all the time and it ain't the good Lord Himself, how good is it for you? If it ain't the good Lord Himself and it ain't water, how good is it for you? Because we definitely need water all the time. So there's always some exceptions, but man, weed, needing it all the time? Nah, no jokes, my G. No jokes, man. We talking about weed. We talking about weed. And we talking about what it takes from you that you might not even realize. Most people are like, oh, I'm just happy and hungry when I'm smoking weed. But to what end, though? When have you ever got anything accomplished just being happy and hungry? Can somebody tell me that? Yo, what up? Yep, what up? Yeah, we talking about weed. Like, that's illegal. Maybe in some states. It ain't illegal in Colorado. It's not legal in actually most states. Actually, they pushing that to be legal everywhere. And so, you know, most people are like, oh, weed, it just makes me happy and hungry. When is anything great been accomplished by being happy and hungry? aside from stopping that pain. You think about the money you spend on weed, and you think about, and look, I can't even talk from a place like I said, I smoked weed for years. I mean, 15 years. I smoked every day, daily smoke, before work, after work, before I ate, before I went out, before I went to go do anything, or as I was doing something, you know what I'm saying? Before I played the game, I mean, I smoked weed continuously. So if anybody knows, it's me. I mean, and in my day, I had it, you can get it from me. So you know how that goes. The weed man always got a nice little personal sack, right? He always got that. That's facts. So if I'm not responding, y'all apologize, I'm driving. But yeah, weed is one of those things where you're spending a lot of money on it for a little return. Your return is being happy or laughing, maybe not even necessarily happy, just laughing uncontrollably and eating uncontrollably. That's the thing that we kind of exposes you to, that you're not even realizing. It's a gateway drug. So it's not a gateway to harder drugs, but it's a gateway to overeating. It's a gateway to overspending. Things you may not even be realizing that it's a gateway to. It's a gateway to that. Because how much junk food do you need? How much junk food do you eat while you smoking weed? Boy, if it was some ice cream and cookies in there, that whole pint might be gone before the morning time in. We know that's not healthy. We know the overeating is not healthy. Now, I will admit it has a few benefits. It makes things taste a little bit better, I won't lie. But I think that's because it's drying out those taste receptors and drying your mouth out so much that, I mean, you put something with some seasoning on the tongue, it tastes 10 times better, because the weed doesn't necessarily taste good. Some of it only got a fruity taste, don't get me wrong, but still, it's not food. It's almost like smoking on spirit. That smoke is almost like spirit, man. So it don't necessarily give you what you're looking for and what you want. But yeah. So that's kind of how weed is, man. The other thing about weed is it kind of leaves you unfocused. You can't get as focused as you really need to be when smoking weed. Trust me, I know. I've smoked weed for so long. And I might be about 18 months. I'm about 18 months clean now. No weed, no smoke. I did take one puff for my birthday. I stopped on my birthday the year before. I took one puff for my birthday and instantly realized it wasn't for me. I was done with that part of life. And I'm not going to say I won't ever backslide. I don't want to even act like that, man. Everybody is only strong as they can be. Sometimes you backslide, you fall, but the purpose is to get back up if you do fall. So, it's one of those things. It takes up a lot of your time. It takes up a lot of your money. How many times have you wasted trying to roll up or trying to go get some weed real quick, and you actually got something to do, but you're trying to stop and smoke? It's like one of those type of things. So, yeah, weed is one of those things that really can hinder your progress without you even knowing it, because you're feeling good doing the whole thing. It does give a sense of euphoria. I won't lie about that. It does give a sense of euphoria. Just a second. We do some shorty here real quick. Okay. So yeah, you got to be careful of being accomplished, being happy and hungry. Never got anything accomplished doing those things. To get things accomplished and get things done in your life, you kind of need to be more focused. So, you know, if you've been contemplating stopping smoking weed, what things are out of the mouth of two witnesses. And what I mean by that is, if you have somebody to say something to you that has no connection to you, and you just hopped on this live, and somebody's talking about something that you've been thinking about, and somebody else completely unrelated comes to you and says something else about that same exact thing, and then a third witness can be you in your own mind, your own body, feeling like, I need to kind of stop doing this. Well, there you go. You got everything you need to move forward on what you've been thinking about. And that's with anything. You know, out of the mouth of two witnesses, everything is established. And so, you know, you should really look at those things when you going to judge what you should do and what you shouldn't do. If somebody's coming to you and talking about it and it's two people and they're totally unrelated and you already thinking this yourself, or maybe you hadn't been thinking it, but it sparks your mind, well, there you go. Maybe you should look seriously into that thing. But I promise you, you won't be able to get much accomplished and much done high. People say they study high, all that's cool. But we talking about for the long term, because life is not an Instagram post where you post and immediately you got 100 likes, you got 1,000 likes, you got 500,000, whatever it is. Life is like long game play. You got to play this game way, not a short term way. If you're thinking short term, then shit, why not get your high up? You know what I'm saying? Why not? So if it matters to you tomorrow, the next day, on down the line, if it matters to you about your children, you know, these are things you should consider. And take it from me as a long-term weed smoker. So also when you got children, man, like they're looking at you. You want your kids smoking weed? I don't want that for my kids, even though I thought it was cool. It's like, man, I got a different understanding. And sometimes it takes for you to have some children to have a different understanding on that. But it's one of those things where once you get an understanding on things, you need to really move and attack those things with a new understanding that you got. It's okay if you thought something. It's okay if you thought something one time and then you get new information and you change up your thinking. Your thinking should always be kind of fluid. Your thinking should never be solid, meaning that you a babe in the game. You know, I'm about to be 40 years old. I'm a babe in the game. I'm still learning. You got to think about people like Adam and Eve and Moses and Noah and these people that lived to be hundreds of years old. You know, to hit 40 years old, you was essentially a teenager. I mean, I don't even know. You was adolescent, kind of. You know, you coming into being a preteen at 40. You know, so I try to keep that same mentality, man. Like, so meaning that keep your mind fluid, keep your mind adjustable and moldable, and be able to hear and learn new things and change on a dime. That's what life is. If you was taught something coming up and you learned on down the line that was wrong, then you change. Like you don't continue forward because that's what you was taught. Such as something like Santa Claus. You know, once you learn that Santa ain't real, you know, it's not appropriate for you to continue to believe in that. Like, oh, I was taught this when I was young. That would be a mistake on your part. You got to grow and evolve, and part of growing and evolving is things changing. Your body doesn't stay the same for your whole life. Your mind doesn't stay the same for your whole life either. So you should always, even when you get to a grown point, your skin changing, your thoughts changing, your hair is changing, your speech is changing. You might start working out later in life. You might work out early in life, and then later in life you might fall out the wagon like me. You know, so you know, you got to always be adaptable and moldable to new things that's hitting your wavelength, because man, you're never gonna have enough knowledge. You should never stop learning. You know, I hope to pass away with a book under my pillow as I was reading up into the end. I was trying to learn up into the end. Maybe now it'll be a YouTube video. You know how it is these days. But you know, you should definitely be pushing towards that and never be solid in your thinking. So you can always change. You might think something's good for you and one day it's not. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? So when you get new information, be willing to change off of that new information. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared of it. That's just what it is. So as you go through life, you know, I hope you're getting an understanding on that. And then if I got my elders on here, you know, I'm sure y'all can back me up on this. Life is something that is forever changing. Forever changing. Your route to work ain't even the same, even though you think it's the same. You got new cars around you. It may be a little slower today, a little faster tomorrow. It's all these factors always coming into play. So yeah, be careful of the weed. Be careful of wanting to be high all the time and out of your mind all the time. Your decision making is not the same. You know, so that's what I want to warn about with weed and marijuana. Be careful of that. It's very subtle, very slick and sly how the weed makes you feel versus what you can get done and get accomplished while smoking it. You might be able to do it for a little bit, but can you do it for the long term? Can you do it over the long haul? It's like, man, it's like I played good in the first quarter. I played good in the second quarter. Third quarter, I didn't play as good. Fourth quarter, I was tired, boss. I couldn't even get busy and go get that win. It's the same thing with weed. You might be good first quarter. You might be good second quarter. But by the time that third quarter hit, you start getting a little tired. By the time that fourth quarter hit, you done ran out of gas. Can't even do the job. So be aware. Be aware. Keep your head on the swivel. And when you high, you know, sometimes you might see something and it don't register to you like it should, because you high. So be aware of weed, man. I do understand weed is something that does make you feel good, and it has its uses. Maybe even that's debatable. I'm willing to hear new information on that and understand that's debatable. So it has its uses, I guess. I think more of the food. I think more of the food is the better. Is probably the better way. You're probably gonna learn more through the food than through the weed. It's probably a better way to use it than desecrating it and burning it and smoking it. Smoke and lungs just don't go together for whatever reason. So don't get food and think that weed do that too. That you just smoking it. It might not go that way. You know, it might need to be dried out and used like an actual herb. It might need to be cooked and used like that. I don't know. I don't have the knowledge on that. But all I can say is be careful, be aware. You don't want to fall into a trap. You don't want to wait. You don't want to smoke 20 years away and spend thousands of dollars doing so. Thousands of dollars doing so. Even if you can learn how to cultivate the plant. I mean, why not learn how to cultivate vegetables, something that can really feed you in a time of trouble and chaos? You know, so there's many other things out there that will relax you, starting with like something like lavender. You know, that's on a basic level. I'm sure there's other things out there that even go further than that. But something like lavender can relax you and can ease your mind and soothe you. And what a beautiful smell it is. So yeah. But yeah, man, if I got anybody out there, thanks for joining. Makes you feel awful, makes you feel stupid, fool to believe they are smarter. It can't be like that. It can be like that. So I appreciate everybody joining. I got a few more minutes before I get here to work, but yeah, if anybody got any questions or any comments, I got one person in the chat. Shout out to this one person right here. What up? But yeah, man, if you got anything to add, please do add. I just don't want you to fall into a trap. And I don't want our kids to fall into a trap, because we got a new generation coming, and better believe they watching us. They're definitely watching us. So it's a lot more to go into. It's a deeper rabbit hole. You know what I also heard about? Weed. I heard that was a way they gave honor to pagan gods back in the day. And now just because we don't have that knowledge, like we doing it unknowingly, giving honor to pagan gods. It was like as they went to go make a sacrifice, whatever it may be, man, they would fire up that pungent smell, that smell that we give, that smell that we've been taught to love. Man, that's the other thing too. You stink when you smoke weed. You know, they made a song called Kush Is My Cologne. Kush Is My Cologne. I used to love that song, because that used to be me. But you got to be careful, man. You got to watch yourself, man. That shit really stink. You really kind of stink. And mixing it with cologne, that's like smearing shit on you and let me spray some cologne on it. Like you putting potpourri on the shit. You know, like it don't really go like that. It don't really work like that. even though you think it do. Weed will have you feeling like, oh, this is how it goes. But you be around somebody that don't smoke and see how bad you smell, and see how bad they say you smell. You know, that's one of the things you should definitely account for. And me, I like to smell good. You know, I like my colognes. I like my you know what I'm saying, my natural oils. You know, my natural smells. I like that. You know, I like soap and I like water and I like deodorant. So to run around kind of smelling a little funny could be a little off, you know. But yeah, I would try to tell you, man, replace that. You know, a couple of times I stopped smoking weed, and it was when I was trying to get something accomplished. You know, I was trying to buy a house, and I was like, you know what? I'm not smoking weed until I buy a house. And it took me a year, but I didn't smoke for a year. I bought a house, and guess what? As soon as I bought a house, I started smoking again. That's crazy, ain't it? That's crazy. So, man, I hope y'all doing well today. Hope y'all looking forward to getting some things accomplished today. Hope the day is going swell for you. Kind of give you a little view of the area here. I like this building for whatever reason, man. American McQueen Voyages. Okay. I like the view. I like this corner. I don't know why. Got the Denny's over here. I don't know why, but I like this corner. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale with it. And I hope you're doing good today. I hope you're gonna plan on getting something accomplished. Drop a like, drop a comment. Go look at my other go look at my other content. I got gaming content on there. So it's a channel with kind of like some different things. Sometimes I do lives where I'm just kicking it with the people, and then sometimes I'm gaming and I'm in that zone too. So I got a few little different things on my live and on my channel. I appreciate you joining, and of course, man, if you like the content, it's only gonna get better. So be aware of that. You have a great day. This is Legend TV, and we out.